There you go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on the day 2 of our beautiful event. Something came to my mind right now. I heard that there was the question if we can talk to the audience before playing. Many years ago, I attended as an audience member Van Cliburn piano competition, and during this competition, as always, they have a lot of events going simultaneously with the competition. For some seminars, some side performances, and I remember there was a program about stage fright. And I'm thinking, I have to go listen what they have to say. And what did they say? They said that the best way before playing is to face the audience and speak for a moment. Because I came from Poland, and in our tradition and culture was the musician just comes. It was always like this. Mouse, and here is this everything in darkness, this enemy right there, and then you play. But they said that if you look into the spaces, they are so friendly, they are so welcoming and loving you. It kind of takes a lot of pressure away. And then if you say few words, the first anxiety kind of goes away, and then you're ready. I remember when I came, I had some performances, and I could not even imagine turning to the audience and saying. So I always would invite someone, could you please speak? I would prepare some text, something to say, and this person that I asked to do this will do this, and then I came and played. But then with time I learned this, that I can stand right now and speak is a bit successful. I couldn't do that. So if you are ready to try the Van Cliburn method, yes.
But remember, we have a 15-minute time limit.
Okay, so within the limit, no, we will stretch the time a little. I can make this decision. Just speak to us. Okay, let's see if it works. It will be an experiment. Let's see if it works. The best of luck. Thank you for being here and playing. And maybe the most important thing, I would like to introduce Dr. Sohyoung Park, our friends and wonderful concert pianists that are here from Rice University. Please see it. Our master and performer for today, and Ms. Anna Jastrzębska-Queen that gave us delightful presentation yesterday, and here she is. And she's the head of a piano department in Warsaw, Poland, so we have here some influence from Chopin's country, straight from Poland. She came for this event. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you, Anna, and thanks again to our judges, and thank you all for coming. And I'm happy everybody is participating. We have 20 participants this year. As I said, yesterday we have a full day, and today we have a full day again. So we're going to hear from Bill, James, Jerry, Tony, and then Philip, and then we're going to take a short break. That's about an hour of playing. And then we'll hear from June, Eileen, John, Emily, and then one more recorded performance, and then we'll break for lunch. So we'll have about an hour for lunch. We'll have some sandwiches in the kitchen. And then after that, about 1:15 or so, we'll have a lecture and then a recital by Sohyoung, our judge. And then after that, we'll split again for master classes. Okay? So I'm really happy. Thank you all for participating. It's great to see you. We basically have a full schedule for the whole weekend. I'm really happy about that. There's so many Chopin enthusiasts. We have some new people from last time, so I'm very excited. So with that, let us start with our first player, Bill Garodnik.
Time I get to the piano will be 15 minutes. I'm going to play two of the nocturnes. The first one is one of Chopin's first nocturnes. Opus 9, number 1, and shows this unbelievable variation in dynamics. and how fragile he was and sensitive. The second one is a little later on, in which a lot of people around him passed away. His father, his teacher, and that's with the Opus 55, number 1. And I don't want to talk you to death because I don't want to use at the moment, but very interesting music. And good luck to me.
next up is James Wilsey.
I'm going to play the second ballade in F major. There's four, and this ballade is the shortest one. And technically, it's not as difficult. They're all difficult, but this one's a little bit easier than the other. There's something very intimidating when you're up above the audience on stage. And on a huge piano like this.
All right, next up is Jerry Jones. Yeah.
My name is Jerry Jones, and I'm going to play the fourth ballade in F minor. The artist Andy Warhol once said that everybody deserves their 15 minutes of fame. So I want to take this opportunity to thank the Chopin Society of Houston for giving all of us who are not professional pianists, who are not world-class concert pianists, our 15 minutes of fame here. So I appreciate it, and thank you.
Philip, do you want to chair? Yeah, that's just a spring. Yeah. Yeah, you have to turn it and just be careful. Controlled descent.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Like that?
All right. There you go. All right, now our resident cardiologist, Tony Tran.
Good morning. My name is Tony, and I'll be playing two pieces by Chopin. The first one is a mazurka, and I have been thinking about this piece for a long time, but never really touched it in earnest until I was cycling in France in September. As we were cycling in Alsace, the eastern part, well known for the white wine production. We stopped at a lunch break near a beautiful stone church outside the town of Saint-Denis, which is the Bonach region, and there was someone practicing this tender melody amidst the ocean of undulating vineyards. And so it really captured my inspiration to present this piece today. And the second piece will be a ballade, number one, that will basically showcase to all of you the other two ballades that you have heard, the number 4 and number 2, and then after today you'll also hear number 3.
Page Turner and pilot, Philip Walker.
Well, my name is Philip Walker. I don't have too much to pontificate about, but I will echo what Jerry said. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it. I did get the opportunity, based on your story yesterday, to visit Le Cimetière Père Lachaise in Paris, probably about 10 years ago. And I did notice something. It seemed like his heart was missing when I was there. I did notice I had a coworker that I ran into, and she had a bit of an accent. I don't like yours. And I said, what's your background? She said, well, I'm Polish. I said, well, I don't think I believe you. I said, who is Poland's most famous musician? She thought, well, Chopin. No, I still don't believe you. I said, where is Chopin's heart? She said, Warsaw. So I believe her. I have two pieces tonight, or this afternoon. One is a nocturne from Opus, it's in E minor, I think Opus 72, number 1. And the fiendishly difficult scherzo in B flat. So what I'd like to do is sort of work things around. I'm going to do this nocturne first, so then I can wrestle with this scherzo after that. So thank you very much.
Okay, well, with that, we'll have a little break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll reconvene. Thank you.
Well, I was standing, you could hear, I hit it hard, I hit it hard. I know the professor's gonna call me out on it. He's gonna say, you're hitting that way too hard, a little too hard, getting too excited. No, not big too high. You like it? It's like
Oh, okay. Okay, you understand, okay. Yeah, yours I got, yeah. Okay, so we got, I'm gonna have to look this up. Cantabile? Cantabile kind of singing. Okay. Yeah, okay. So overall, because you talked to me, so I found that you were very organized and then your left one was very. That's why I was organization. But you know, what I found is it's really true. Piano is, you know, tools instrument. So we tend to focus on the beginnings of text taught. So that makes it natural. But then for the singing, you have to kind of pay attention to the duration. Yeah, but you know what? It's like, even after you're done, the end of that duration. You know, that's kind of listening. So it doesn't happen right away, but I think we have to work on it. So that means actually my melodies and involved that left still moving same. But mine will moving but still onto that. So that means actually kind of sometimes I ask my students to listen interval between the melody and then left hand. So that means actually you're still kind of in the relationship. If you think about just the kind of placement point, then we tend to kind of focus on so that's what I meant by, yeah. But you know what, that's the, kind of our issue. That's a pianist. So we tend to always focus on that beginning of the yeah, thank you. Yes, I was wondering because how I found it nice to support yourself to make this I mean, I'm just, I'm in a bit admiring I think it's just, I think that's what I hope my students go to college, and then, not as a musician, and then I always ask them to keep your music in your life. You are so committed. My gosh. Yeah. Thank you.
Professor, I'm trying to use the moment to reset to get my tempo back because it get all.
I mean, it was wonderful. With a lot of drama and
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we have chance to. You want to play that?
Whatever you like, whatever you think I need to tighten up. I don't have that well. Yeah. So good professor here. This is my favorite.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, so I know that you're a pilot.
Yeah.
So that means.
I didn't get to play this time. I got all wrapped up in box lately, and I'm using free to learn some stuff. Well, yeah, I got some.
You mean love to hate?
I remember you were, you were the one who played that 8 years later. No,
Yeah, those are kind of
Good memory. Yeah, but then that's
That's why, I heard that, Juliana Evans would do it.
I love her play.
Yeah, when I heard her do it, I'm I got to play this, you know. It's funny, sometimes you hear a certain person do something and you're like, oh, I really like that, but others do it.
It's the best worship like this, each group was
Yeah, yeah.
from the like we find
That's right, that's right. You have to do performance too.
so many people follow them.
I know, they've been a
That's
lot.
my all-time favorite, I think of Paul Sultan. This is
You know what? I know that's my favorite too.
That's what
That's
you're.
right.
I used to think it was number one, but then before I started listening to number four, I'm like, oh, you know, one of the people, before you started doing this, one of the judges played that one time. And he got hung up in the middle. He was like, I don't know why I'm supposed to play this. You know, right in the middle of it.
I always not overpraise myself.
Yeah, I know, that's what keeps me from thinking out there.
That's the first, no, that, the first time I ever heard music is when he put it out there. I've never seen it before. I saw that and I went, oh, you know, it was going, it was, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah. Somebody did since then.
I really appreciate your understanding of that.
Well, once I made a mistake, you know, it kind of spirals down. You know, I'm losing here.
So I think that's what I'm really trying to say.
Yes.
Just I think Chopin was very against video.
There's other ones that make sure you bring out the
Yeah, ultimately.
Come up on the stage. Come up here, bass. Come up here. Come here. I understand why. Just get a picture of it.
That's a great piano to play.
Give them the meeting ID and tried to log on. It was prompting for a password.
See, I've got a meeting ID. Let's see if I can add it. I hate to touch this thing while the thing is running. There is a passcode. How about that? You want to write that? Yeah, I had no idea. 398094. So you either have to have the link or the passcode. Okay. See, that's why I sent out the link. This way people don't have to worry. I don't know. I had the same problem yesterday with one of the remote students. They needed a passcode. And I'm thinking, I sent you the link. Why is this an issue? So I don't know.
It's funny. Oh well.
Well, look, I hope that works, and we're good.
Did you already play?
No. Yeah, that's like. Why aren't you playing this year?
I was still so young. I got so hung up learning this Bach fugue recently.
Oh yeah.
I just couldn't get free. I was so I gotta get this, and Didn't schedule
monster
myself correctly
fugue.
this time.
The Liszt transcription of an organ fugue by Bach in A minor. If you don't know this piece, you should look it up. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. He played it very well too.
Yeah, I was telling people when I did it, piano club recently, just this was
Too bad this isn't Bach and
Maybe we need to change it.
No, maybe you can open up the program to
Well, if you
And
change,
friends.
if you change it, you'll get Justin to come. I know
That's
he'll come
true.
and play some
He'll play
Bach.
some Bach. How about Chopin and composers he admired because he liked Bach?
Yeah.
He didn't like
Yeah, that's
Beethoven
what
until late today.
That's true. Well, you know, the Chopin amateur competition, I think, allows you to play other composers.
Is that right?
Not just Polish. They'll require Chopin, of course, and then Amaris, and then maybe natural.
Master class. I'm gonna watch her pick you apart.
You came in with a good time.
Yeah,
You heard him in a minute. Yeah, he did a nice job. Jerry Junior's played the F minor. And then there's two A flats, so we're gonna hear the second A flat.
I want that because everybody else is playing too. These aren't.
I played that first. It's a nice.
I think everybody's playing. We all check. Yeah, maybe next time. 26.
Put your guess.
Put it down.
Hey, you get a discount if you come in and advance. I think you get a discount.
I'm gonna take notes with the master. I'm her lecture.
Well, I have it recorded here. I'm recording the Zoom meeting. Yeah, what I might, well, I got it in the cloud now, so what I'm gonna do is I will download the disk space, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. I think I did, but I know, I have to go double check. I think I have that video somewhere. If I didn't, I'll take care of it. I think it's really nice to have that. Yeah, well, there's a lot of music in this town, amateur. How you doing?
his pieces were edited a few times, and he put some corrections from one edition to another of his pieces. So I think that right now, in this edition, I know Professor Eki because he was my teacher. And I remember his Benedictine work, looking in all possible editions, comparing them, and choosing the final pieces. Yeah, he thought that they are close to the truth. So I respect it much, but I grew up with Paderewski, and I play many pieces from Paderewski. And I participated in Chopin competition. I was still a student of him, and he was already idolizing his edition. But he told me, Paderewski. He corrected Paderewski for me, and I could play both editions. And he told me for the version, Paderewski version, because people are not used to know the new edition, because it was not printed yet. So they will think that you play in wrong notes, for example.
Because everybody know different versions because they have to hear.
Yes.
Because when I hear something,
That's strange. But some things are really, for example, like special ornamentations, edits. One of them was like this, and nobody is soon that they are almost finishing now so when you enter in the program, you will get all possible editions, all versions, and you can even put yours that you like. So I don't know which edition is the most favorite. This is the feeling of Chopin that Chopin is not okay, good luck.
All right, folks. Right in the second half of the morning, we have 5 more players. We have June and then Eileen, John, Emily, and somebody else. So if June is here, there's June. Let's all welcome June. She's going to play the ball in the flag.
It is intimidating. Okay, my name is June. I came from Austin, and thank you for this wonderful event.
Thank you for participating.
Yes. So really great to see everyone who loves piano like me, so very nervous. It's not happening, it's working something good. Okay, I'm the number 3, ballad number 3, so.
It's a little tricky. Okay? All right, next up is Eileen Gu.
Hello, my name is Irene Gu. It's kind of difficult to follow so many good performances, and I'm very nervous already. So I'm gonna try the method to calm myself down. Because I usually, if anyone in the piano club knows, usually when I play in front of people, my hand will shaking uncontrollably. It will be like having Parkinson's.
I think you're gonna be great. You're gonna be great.
So my only one goal today is hopefully I don't shake as much. Okay, thank you.
All right, next up, John Flor. Flew all the way in from Florida.
As he said, I come over here from Tampa. We don't have any opportunities for amateur pianists over in Florida apparently, so I'm very pleased to be able to come here and share this festival with you guys. I'm going to be performing two nocturnes, polonaises, August 26th. First one, I'm sure all of us have played at some point, beautiful lyrical polonaise in C sharp minor, and then the second one is in E flat minor, and it's actually not very frequently played, and a lot of people don't know about it. I actually didn't know about it until about a year ago, and then I decided to just add it to the repertoire. So I think one of the interesting things about that polonaise is it's a feeling of hopelessness that is inspired by the history of Poland itself, and it's been ravaged by wars for many years, and I think that hopelessness is conveyed by Chopin in that piece. So hopefully I can convey that to you today.
I want to thank everyone who made this event possible, the organizers, the judges, and of course, all the participants. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll be playing Chopin Ballade number 1 in E minor, opus 23.
Oof. Okay, one more recorded performance, and then we'll break for lunch. guess it's time for lunch. So we'll take a break. We're scheduled to have our lecture at 1:15. What time is it now? 12:30. Gives about 45 minutes. Sounds adequate? We have some, yeah. We have some, for those of you who have signed up and have a guest, please, in the kitchen. So we still have some coffee from the morning and some sodas in the refrigerator, water. And then, as Anna mentioned, there's some croissants.
Not as fancy lunch as yesterday because that's what happened.
So
Just croissant.
I'm going to pause our recording and we'll resume later.
Hawaii, this place has a new Facebook page. And they asked all of you to go and like. They said that they have right now like 1,000 followers, but they would like to grow and make it. So if you just like or could you write something nice, they will appreciate it very much.
Kauai Piano Gallery.
This
Okay.
gallery, right? And we have this beautiful facility for free.
Yeah, they've been very generous with us.
Very generous.
Very generous. They let us have this space all weekend. They don't charge us for it. Yeah, which is pretty unique, right? That doesn't happen.
I think that always inspires everyone.
Well, I think we're all here. So if Sohyoung would like to start.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I think I was so impressed and then humbled by all of your playing. Your dedication to Chopin's music and then finding time to really refine your skill and then try to understand his music. I think blow my mind. I'm a professional musician, but you guys are amateur, but then sincerely, I felt like I was inspired by your playing because I think it was kind of great joy for me to understand there's a lot of people who really appreciate classical music, especially Chopin's music. That's my first remark. Now I want to do sharing my insight after my performance. Probably that's easier for me than try to demonstrate some of the part. So probably I will do my performance first. Okay, so now I think easy part. So I was very surprised that we had actually three performers this year to perform this ballad number 4. Okay, I want to hang a survey. Among 4 ballad, which one is your favorite? Number 1, how many people? Good. Okay, number 2. Okay, number 3. Very good. Number 4. Okay, so many musicians said that ballad number 4 is most challenging and then also complicated, but great masterpiece. Okay, I want to actually kind of share the interesting stories about ballad number 4. Okay, I just got them from Alan Walker. You guys all know his name. He wrote the biography of Chopin, right? And then he had a podcast. Probably you can find it on YouTube because I think Chopin international, not international, that U.S. competition is next January. And the organization support this podcast by Ben Lauder. Then Alan Walker was talking about ballad number 4. Now I was very curious when I actually read his Chopin biography. There was no mention of ballad number 4. Isn't it interesting? That's his masterpiece. How come he didn't say anything about it? And then I think probably he has a reason. He wanted to write this kind of new article about ballad number 4. He wanted to save all the surprise for this article. But one thing, first thing was, this was dedicated to a girl, 17 years old girl, as a wedding gift. And the second fact is, actually, he actually sent this ballad number 4 and then Polonaise in A flat, right? Both to the publisher. Then he asked 500 francs for Polonaise, but 600 francs for this ballad. He thought this is better piece. So it's interesting. Okay. Now I want to share my journey of how I approach this word. Okay. Just I fell in love with this word. I didn't know why. I just like it, right? To play as a, I think I did learn this piece when I did my master's, okay? So it was kind of like by instinct, rather than thinking about lots of elements. Just I wanted to, probably my voice is not big enough, right?
Very clear, very good.
Okay, it's okay? Okay.
Yes.
So I just thought about this as emotional journey rather than structure. Now I'm old enough and then I performed this many times and then I found very interesting actually motivating ideas throughout the piece. So I want to share some. Okay. So if you look at, listen to the first theme. He repeat this theme over and over, right? But I think this is difficult to actually kind of understand how we shape it. My problem with this theme was there are so many times. And then I want to make it fresh and different, but then it's hard to do it. But when I actually realized that he construct this theme, like moving like four interval. Then in between we have connect with the half seven now, and then now D flat to C. I think those actually elements come back over and over. And then as just kind of like present as hidden, actually the structural point, or sometimes obvious point. Okay. Now next one is closing idea of that thing. So and then when I actually did master class yesterday, I shared this information already. But I'm teaching this French. Of course, you guys all know Chopin loved Bach's music, right? Then he always kind of played that Bach prelude too. And then I teach this French suite in G major, Allemand. This is one of the contestant piece. So I realized that, you know what? I think that kind of construction of fourth interval, especially sometimes that tritone appears a lot in the movement. And then also as a closing idea, the repeating things, it really appears a lot. So somehow I think this motivating idea is important element. So I don't know where, maybe I will play something to show you how it is developed throughout the piece. Okay, that fourth interval, the first kind of like very imaginary passage. If you look at the left hand, it's all about fourth interval. And then what about the top? I didn't say this actually, but then introduction we have this, right? The repeating idea. He never wasted this material. This is very unexpected turn of event, which is like dreamy section, and then left hand is all about this. And then go to the different key, but then again, construction of those intervals. Now, I want to show you how he used this, that the idea later. So before this return of this main theme, he already introduced this repeating idea from the introduction at the top, right? Now he kind of used also the material. And then, by the way, maybe I'm kind of too involved, but then this interval is forced, right? Of course, to kind of guide this. ever. This is surprise. Pianist movement. Can you come back to the beginning? Now, I want to talk about, hidden way of his using this T and T flat. Do you remember? Of course, this is variation of the melody, right? And then left hand accompaniment pattern. So you hear is a wrist there. That anchors your listening, and then even technically, it makes it easier for us to go back to that, find that position. So if you listen, I don't want to bring out too much, but then. But this element appears a lot as a unifier. Then when you actually recognize this, I think easier to kind of see the big pictures. One thing I want to also show you, I think lots of people already recognize this second theme is reappearing later, right? But after this, and then now. Now, if you really think about this, and then now we have D flat. Now, sometimes people say this is transformation of the same thing, right? But what I want to say is, you have to make this more thematic. Sometimes I hear people play this just as kind of rhythmic pattern and then going through the different key. But if we recognize this melody, the interval of rising sixth, when you actually play this passage, it will really appear beautiful. And it really kind of is easier for us, even though physically we detached, but our ear connected, the relevance. So maybe that's kind of too much. But how about technical issue? Because we have many musicians here, who play the ballad number 4. What's the most challenging one? Okay.
What's the most challenging part? The most challenging part is, I think, the coda, the beginning of the coda, well, the whole coda.
I know, I already told many people, I think Chopin is very naughty. He always put the most difficult things at the end. After we all went through all different journey, we were exhausted, but he gave us another challenge, right? So I think lots of you, I found that playing coda, not just in ballad number 4, the other ballads, I found that you guys were very wise, not to start too fast. So that's the secret of it. And then I already shared my journey as a pianist. I think I wasted my time by playing too fast, too long. So you have to practice slowly. But while you are practicing slowly, you have to build up your listening, how it relates. So this is coda is another part. I feel like this D flat and C is a good unifier. So never rush, or it doesn't kind of mean this is just finger work. So yeah, he developed. Now, notorious third passage. How was your feeling about this passage? Of course, double note is hard, right? But still, we have to think about rather than technical issue, but then do it. So somehow we cannot lose a sense of the legato. Of course, you have to maybe practice like detach, but at the end, what you want is. Now, I think another thing is when we try to do this, we have to be really patient. You know, a lot of us, we are very, very passionate, so we build up too early. So we have to make sure that we don't don't do it too early. I mean, I think that's the advice we all got from our teachers, right? So we have to really. Okay, now I want to show you my left hand technique. So you can tell my hand is not big. Okay? I have to go in around. But I want you to think about when you do this right hand. I'm looking at the middle beat. The second beat is always my kind of anchor. So instead of thinking about just going through, because they will make my left hand very stable. So above that, you want to say. Now, this is another part I want you to be very patient. I think we are already kind of in the motion of going forward and get faster. I think lots of times we just go through it. But probably this is another part we can really make kind of. So, I think that's the moment of actually kind of patience and then pause. Okay, now. I want to share another actual way for us to make this a little easier. So last part, this is just kind of too much, right? So, and then you realize the left hand, if you listen to it, is simple chord. Dominant 7. That's fine. Okay. And then if we analyze the right hand, actually. So now, D flat is non-harmonic, right? So you can analyze which note is non-harmonic or kind of like color. And then you want to hear more background harmonic progression. And then that will be kind of giving you the security of how you do the focus on your, not just both hand busy, but the left hand is very stable with those kind of chord progression. And now listen to the left hand. Do you hear the C, D flat inside? Almost passage here is more of an F minor, but then D flat doesn't belong, right? E flat doesn't belong. G doesn't belong. Okay, G flat is on this side, right? Now what happened? Again, D flat, and then going right hand D flat, and then one more thing. I don't know how much time you have. All the time you want.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I agree. I agree.
So other thing, we have to be really discipline is we have to understand what will be the optimum fingering for our hands. Everybody has different approach, but you can tell I have small hands again. So then I always think about active position. Whenever I kind of make active position first, the passage work, then I decide at first and then try to decide the inner notes, the finger. But that works in the how you do in the left hand. In the so I'm not using thumb. I'm using so I'm dividing this 4 to 1, 5 to 2. So I minimize my thumb movement. So to my or I can use this, but then I don't use a thumb. That will reduce my left hand movement. That's more efficient. Okay? Another thing I'm doing, I already shared it with you. I know I have crazy fingering for this pattern. I think everybody has a different opinion about it. But I'm kind of my principle is I want to reduce the hand position change as much as I can. Yeah. So even though it's not comfortable, I'm doing that's my one position. That's my another position. And so forth. I know this is awkward, but I think for me that's better than kind of trying to be using so many different positions. And then by this time I know my tendency I'm rushing. So I don't want to go too much kind of position change which makes me so nervous. So I want to do that. Left hand, I'm using the same kind of idea. This one is my one position. So now this one I use because last one has been strong. I change my rule, and then this one I land up with one. So that's the only time I use a new position instead of the active position. That helped me a lot. Do you have any other questions? Okay.
How about when you play a wrong note? How do you recover from that without continuing to play?
That happened to me today, right? In the introduction, I missed that. I was really nervous about it. It happened to everybody, but then, it's easy to say than done, but then I will focus on now. Now can happen many times. But even though that moment passed and then still I focus on now. I think that's the only way we can recover from our mistake. Otherwise, we can have tons of kind of, we always look back instead of really focus on what's going on. It was an interesting journey for me to kind of realize a lot of inside texture. But I think Chopin is a great composer because there are so many things to discover. Everybody has a different ideas of how we should go, but I think it has to be based on from the texture. And certainly this motivic idea really helped me to actually develop my own interpretation. Yes?
I noticed in your singing tone, when you're waiting for the tone to tell you when it should move, and I noticed that in your playing, that it causes, touches something in the feeling. It's not pretentious. It's not something you're doing. It's like you're allowing something to come through you. I feel that in your playing, especially the middle, the small, and I don't know if it's conscious or intentional.
I think I shared this with the last of you, but then I think pianist weakness actually we focus on a pattern. When notes happen, right? But I think our focus has to be more on duration afterward. So if we listen to the duration, sometimes I think it really tells us a lot about the time. And I think we cannot calculate it with robot. It has to come naturally, but then based on your reaction to the duration, and then sometimes that understanding of this is end or beginning, or this is rather statement or suggestion. So I think we can talk about lots of different things to influence our kind of decision about time. But thank you for your company. Okay. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about your approach to that, the fugue section in the middle, where people have different ways of attacking that, and yours just sounded a little bit more smooth and natural than I've heard other people play. I was just wondering if you could talk a little about.
Yes, I think this is my personal approach. So he actually kind of introduced this opening idea in very unexpected key, right? After that, he has cadenza of this kind of passage. And I feel like he kind of this dreamy kind of state. And this contrapuntal actually passages kind of like slow way back to the reality. So I wanted to make really kind of like, I have this contrapuntal texture, but I want to make it, it's kind of wandering, you can search the way. But then he introduced ending idea, right? Kind of like close to the, kind of going back to the beginning, right? But then another searches. But this time even more close because the key is closer to the original key, right? Now, final one. Really found the kind of way back to home on the rhythm. But then now, closing idea again. Again, down is kind of shorter, really kind of. And then beginning of variation. So that's my interpretation. Yes.
You have a beautiful singing, full soprano voice. Do you work on that specifically, or?
Of course I work.
With time.
Okay, so, I think Chopin really suggests great idea that, like, when you want to have singing, Anna is expert, of course, it's better to use the third finger, and then also maybe flatter kind of position. I wanted to make sure that I have great contact with the key. That's the first thing. And then whenever you have to use the weak fingers, I use the arm support to them. So I just control the quality of the tone. But at the same time, as Chopin said, he was not actually kind of believer in equalizing fingers. So he wants to actually kind of hear the different colors from different fingers. So I think we don't have to worry about weakness of certain fingers. But certainly we have to try to support well from the bigger part of our life. Any other questions?
So we intentionally wanted these to be lighter.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening to my talk.
Let's be honest.
And from Poland to kind of make this possible. And then I learned a lot from your playing. And then also my kind of belief is we can learn from each other. I think if you kind of learn one thing new from someone's playing, that's the success. So I hope that you guys learn one thing, whatever that is actually from my talk today. Thank you.
Okay, well, we split again into master classes. We have 3 master classes here, and then 3 in the Shigura room. So Sohyoung will stay here,
Yes.
and Bill, and then Philip, will be here with Sohyoung. And then in the Shigeru room, we have June and Eileen with Professor Quinn. And then the two teachers will swap. And here again, the last will be Jerry Jones will be in here with Anna Quinn. And then John will be with Sohyoung in the other room. So whenever the teachers are ready, we can start. 45 minutes a lesson. I really like you.
I learned more than one.
I learned more than one. Thanks for organizing. Oh, yeah, you're good. I'm glad you could participate. Really happy. Take care.
Next time, and more when you choices.
You got 2 years, Tony.
Good luck getting it together.
We can do anything without it. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes. So, okay, so I know